Hi there, it's Anne of Rosie Designs here. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. I think my director is keeping a close eye on the background, but I think he's also got his eye on a scrunched up piece of post-it note. But we'll see which duty he takes more seriously. So, as usual, I went on for too long in the last video, so I ran out of time. So I thought it was probably easier to just do a separate video to share with you the other card that I have made using the Come Sail Away suite, which is in the new catalogue, and you can find it, all the details, on pages 144 through to 146 in the catalogue. Now, if you're not familiar with the various elements of the suite, then have a look at the previous video, because I've gone through the stamp set, the coordinating dies, the Memories and More card pack, the trinkets, the baker's twine, so that if I didn't say the stamp set, so all of those I've actually shared with you on the previous video. There is also a coordinating 3D high seas embossing folder, which I don't have at the moment, so I can't share with you the what is produced using that, but that's on my list, I have to say. But I've also made mention of the fact that this set, the stamp set, Sailing Home stamp set, does work quite well with the High Tide stamp set that's been around for quite a while. And again, there was a couple of little ideas using the die that coordinates with this set, using that in conjunction with the lighthouses that are in the other set. So give that a look, that video. A couple of things I meant to say last time. It may have come to your notice that in previous catalogues with each suite we've had a cardstock pack, so we've had 8 of 3 colours, so 24 sheets of card, and 3 colours, 8 sheets of each. We haven't got that this year, so probably the best set that would work with this particular suite would be the neutrals. In case you were wondering which cardstock would be better. So I think this works quite well, because you've got Mossy Meadow in there, Night of Navy, and you've got some browns in here, Sahara Sand, which is also in this suite. So obviously you've got some other bits that don't necessarily work, but a lot of this will work with the Sail Away suite. So as I say, slight difference in how we're buying cardstock this time. So I think that's probably all I want to say. There's a few other little things at the end, but let's get on with some crafting. So again, I'm using Whisper White card base, and as usual 8x6, scored at 4 on the long side to give me my card base. Just crisping up the fold there. Now this time we're going with a landscape design. The words are there, but they just won't come out. Oh, something probably exciting happening out there. So I've got a piece of designer series paper, 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. So this is the knot design on here, and on the back we're going to be using this coordinating design that's on the back. I love this because it's got all these newspaper cuttings and various pictures, so it's quite nostalgic, that. But we're going with the knot design on the front. So let me stick that down with some snail. Now I want the knots obviously going vertically. No, they're not going to be horizontal. because the card is going to go that way. But thank you for your input. It could have gone either way, we all know that. So then I've got another little piece of card here, which is, as I say, is the back of that. And I didn't have a lot left of that particular piece, so I've just cut it out to sort of capture the most interesting bits and pieces on that particular piece of paper. Now that is cut at 3 3/4 by 2.5. Threw myself a bit there because I'm thinking that's not going to work, but the card's not that way around. So we're going to put it over here, and we're going to go slightly. No, we're not going slightly to the centre. We're just going to put that in the centre. It's a while since I made that card, I have to say. So we'll stick that in the centre. Ish. And before I do anything else on the front, I'm going to just do a little design in the centre of the card. And I'm going to use the anchor. Now this stamp set, you've got a variety of images and sentiments. It is a cling stamp set, and I have to admit that I think because it's new, I have been struggling with the labels on here coming unattached when I've had it on the block, even if I'm getting it off the block very quickly. And I've certainly had trouble with this. I've been very fortunate that I've managed to peel it off carefully, and it's no worse for its experience, although there is a cat hair now attached to it. But to avoid that, just grab a piece of washi tape that you're perhaps not using anymore. Just stick that onto the stamp there before you stick it onto the block. Now in theory that gives you something to get hold of to then pull it off the block when you're finished with it. So I'm going with a light of navy anchor. I know anchors are generally not blue, but that's the great thing with crafting. You can have some poetic license. Now I actually quite like the stamped off version of that, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm stamping off once. Oh, you've come back to help now, have you? I'd rather you didn't help with those cards though. I'm just going to stick that into the corner. And while I've got what's on the printer, it can only be you up there because you're the only one who sits up there. So while I've got the anchor, I'm going to do the envelope as well. So again, I'm going to just stamp that off and then put the anchor into the corner. It's quite a nice design on that anchor. You can see the different depths of colour. I quite like that effect, I have to say. So now you're back up there, does that mean you're more engaged with what's going on down here, or is that just another place for you to sleep? I'm guessing it's the latter. So, without the aid of safety net, I'm now going to try and pull this stamp off to see if my washi tape tip works. There we go. Providing the washi tape doesn't stick to the stamp, we'll be home and dry. So there we go. So that is well worth a tip, particularly when these cling stamps are new, because they are very, very sticky. And I've done the same here. I'm not using this one today, but I've done the same with this because I keep losing that. That's even harder because you finish up with the north in the wrong place. There we go. So even if you've not got any washi tape, worth shopping around and getting maybe a cheap roll of it somewhere. I should say buy some Stampin' Up washi tape, there are some nice designs, but I think you can probably pick it up very cheaply if you're just wanting it to help with your cling stamps, I have to say. But do buy some washi tape, because they're always good for using on cards as well, to just give it that other bit of interest, I suppose is the word. So we're going to add a lighthouse to the front of the card. Now I've already cut it out, but I'm just showing you what I've done with it. So I'm stamping it on with Night of Navy, sticking my thumb on the ink pad as I go, as you do. Goes with the posh nails, doesn't it? We had a nice weekend with friends who were celebrating their 50th anniversary, hence the proper nail do. It's not going to last, we all know that. But I thought it only right I did a video while I actually had some decent nails to faff about with. Right, so I'm going to add just a little bit of Wink of Stella. Now I've got a fairly empty, there's a tiny bit left in here, it's not a full one by any means, because I just want a bit of shimmer, I don't want loads of glitter. I'm just taking the nib onto the corner of my ink pad where I don't use to stamp, and you can always clean that off if you wish. Just going to take some of that colour off. So it's just giving me a bit of, and I'm just squeezing that pen as I'm going along because I haven't got a lot of Wink of Stella in it, so it's helping me to just blend a bit. Now any excess that I've got on there is going to be cut off when it's run through the big shot with its coordinating die. It just gives that feeling of sea at the end of the lighthouse, or at the bottom of the lighthouse. So I would then, using my big shot, I would then cut that out using the coordinating die. And again, I did make reference to this in the last video, that I use a magnetic plate. There are health issues with that, so if you've got a pacemaker or anything like that, you shouldn't be using magnets that are as strong as this. But obviously if you're in that position, you would know far more about what you can and can't do. I tend to use my magnetic plate for most things, but even with that it can slip. Now the bigger the stamp, is less likely to happen, but whether you're using a magnetic plate or not, if you put your die over your image and then just stick a piece of post-it note over it, it will just hold it in place while you then run it through the machine. So as I've already done that, I don't need to do that again, but that's how you can keep your stamps in place while you cut them out. Here's one I made earlier, yeah, Blue Peter. I think they were better at it at Blue Peter than I am. So I've got another piece here of designer series paper. Can you imagine that if I did everything from scratch? You know, it would start at sunrise and it'd be dark, wouldn't it? Time we'd finish. That wouldn't work. 3.5 inches by 3/4 of an inch. I think I quite like it up that way. So I'm wanting that to go out to the side here and then go over here. So I've just got some layers going on here. Make it a little bit more interesting. desperately trying to do this without melting in the heat. Right, we're going to add some Stampin' dimensionals to my already cut out lighthouse. I need a sip of my tea. Get thirsty when you talk so much. Right, so I'm going to stick the lighthouse just towards the end of this bottom layer, leaving myself enough room here just for one of the little trinkets. And might as well add that now, combining. So this time, basically because I'm running out of anchors and I've got quite a few of the ship's wheels left, I'm going to use a ship's wheel. So with this one, I just literally tied some of the baker's twine through the loop of the anchor, and I've just tied a knot. I've frayed the edges and I've just stuck that on with a couple of glue dots, so one there and one there, which is quite effective. The way that baker's twine frays is very, very effective. Quite scary. I've now done 3 cards that involve cord. Who knew? Who knew that was even possible? So it's quite a heavy little trinket, so I'm going to stick a couple of glue dots on there. Just going to squish that up with my finger. So I'm going with 3. Don't want it falling off. And I'm going to stick that just in the middle there. Then I've got a sentiment that I've already stamped and cut out. So that sentiment I've used from a big thank you, which is a photopolymer stamp set, and it's this one. As I've said many times, I get through so many thank you cards, it's well worth my while to make quite a few, so I've got them to fall back on. But there are some nice little sentiments in here. There's the thanks that we used in the previous video, the congrats, which also fits in this die, so you can cut it out. There's also these let hope be your anchor through the storms of life, and then set sail in the direction of your dreams, which is the one I've used here. That would be quite nice for somebody perhaps going off to uni or something like that. But this particular die will be suitable for all sorts of sentiments that are available throughout the various stamp sets that I'm sure you already have in your collection. So I'm just going to add a little bit of shimmer to this because they're quite broad letters. On the wider bits, I'm just going to add a tiny bit of Wink of Stella. Just makes it stand out a little bit more. Now I know that that isn't going to show up on camera, but when that catches the light, it's just got that little shimmer which will then tie in with the shimmer that you've got here with the sea. So I'm going to then add that to the card using some Stampin' dimensions. that's going to go just up here. And then I've stamped and cut out an anchor using that coordinating die. So that ties it in with the anchor that you've got inside and on the envelope. I'm just going to put that in the corner there. I think the mini dimensionals will work better with that. And that's slightly too big. So I'm going to take one and just cut a tiny piece off. That is why we get bits all over the floor, I have to say. It's called being creative. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Quite fiddly to get these off, especially when you're hot. So I'll stick that just on there and job done. So I have to say I love this suite and I'm sure we will be revisiting it in the not too distant future. But there are, being a new catalogue, lots of lovely new things to play with. So I'll just share with you a very quick selection of some of the cards I've used using some of the new products. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do next, but it's going to be something to do with one of these. So this is the new Daisy Lane suite. So this is the medium sized daisy. There's also the large daisy in that stamp set as well as in the previous one from last year. So I did get a bit carried away with this and so it didn't quite fit the envelope. So but fortunately it's going with a present. So I've improvised. But I'll certainly be doing something to do with the that Daisy Lane suite in the not too distant future. This is the Bird Ballad suite, and these are the laser cut cards that are available in a really pretty tin, and they were very quick to put together. This is the vellum, the coordinating vellum from that suite, and the stamp set which I've just coloured in the birds using some Stampin blends. That's another version of those. But whilst the colouring takes a little bit of time, it's a very easy process putting that together, and yet I have to say quite effective. So that could well be the next one on the list, I have to say. This is, I can't think what the proper name of this one is. Just try and find it. It's to do with a mosaic. And you can never find it when you want it, can you? There we go. Mosaic Mood Speciality Designer Series paper. And that coordinates with the Mosaic Mood suite, which is 118 to 120 in the catalogue. So that's that one. So this is the Designer Series paper and the stamp set. And this is the stitch label framelits and also the butterfly dies that we've also got in the new catalogue that have carried forward from the spring summer catalogue. There's some really nice pretty detail, mosaic type detail in there. And that's another version of that card. One of my favourite colours there, mint macaron. So it will be one of those three. To see how the mood takes me. But I'm kind of veering towards the Bird Ballad suite. I have to say that one, but we'll see. So just a couple of things before I go. There's up there for safety. I mentioned in the last video there are a couple of promotions. The first one is the bonus days, which starts on the 1st of July and runs through to the 31st of July. Now with that one, for every £45 that you spend, excluding postage and packing, you will earn a bonus coupon of £4.50, which you can then spend in August. So it's basically every increment of £45 you will qualify for a coupon. The coupons will be emailed, and if you earn multiple coupons, then you will get all your coupon details on one email, so you do need to keep that safe. There is a blog post on it, so you can pop over to my blog and read all the details about that. The other promotion is relating to becoming a demonstrator. Now normally you sign up for your starter kit and it costs you £99, which you get to choose £130 of any products that are in the current catalogues. So at the moment that's the annual catalogue, but from the 1st of August there will be a pre-order for demonstrators in the autumn winter catalogue. So if you join, for example, after 1st of August, you get to choose between products in the autumn winter catalogue and the annual catalogue. The promotion, however, runs from the 1st of July through to the 31st of August. And the actual promotion is if you sign up, you will get an additional £25 to spend. So for your £99, you get £155 worth of products of your choice, and in addition you will earn an £8 coupon which can be spent up to 31st of October. So the coupon will be sent by email and it will be sent between the 5th and the 7th business day in the following month after you sign up, and that coupon has to be spent before the 31st of October. Again, all the details are on a blog post, so you can pop over to my blog for further information. There's a subscribe button on my blog, so if you want to hit that, that means you don't miss out of any news as and when it comes in, and I'll write a blog post about it. So as usual, the normal links are on the front there: Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, of course my shop. And if you'd like a catalogue at all, then do please use the contact me button, or a link rather, that's on the front there. If you've enjoyed the video, then please give me a thumbs up, that would be great. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, please do so. That just means that you get advised when I've uploaded another video, and you get to choose whether or not you'd like to watch it. So I will see you very soon. We're being promised or threatened with a heat wave, so it could well be after the heat wave is over, if today's anything to go by, but I will be back very soon. So until then, as I say, thanks ever so much for joining me, and take care. Me, my cameraman and Ollie will see you very soon. Bye for now.